As a musician, you want people to listen to your music. You want them to understand you. You want them to see your pain, your passion, your love. You want them to feel you. But none of that is possible unless you have the right networks for them to hear you. So I want to welcome all musicians and all music lovers to a one-stop shop. Welcome to Jamfuze.
Woo! My name is Steven.
I am Nick.
As you can see, there are many talented local artists out there, such as Nick, but 90% of them go unheard. And only 1% actually get to heard on the radio or the television. And the reason why 90% of them get unheard is because it costs $500,000 to $2 million just to get started. This is to get on the radio like the Justin Biebers you hear, or to get on TV like the Drakes you see on TV. Number two, the field is super crowded. There are currently 28 million inspiring artists out there today. With such a big field, it can be really hard to stand out. And number three, it can be hard to find all the services you need, such as the right recording studio, the right venues to play at, or the right videographer to shoot your video. And because of this difficulty, these artists are missing out on a piece of the pie of the market. Is how big, Nick?
$51.5 billion is what the music industry made last year worldwide. $51.5 billion. 19.6 billion of those dollars were made here in the U.S. That's nearly 40% of the market. That's where we're starting our business. That's where we're starting our platform. As you can see, our site caters around musicians, but being a musician is a lot of playing parts. You need the right studio to record your music, the right videographer to shoot your video, right engineers to make your beats. We even have listeners, which is the #1 reason why musicians make music. And as you can see, musicians and all the service providers are our target markets. And we actually surveyed one of our target markets, which was studios. Over 22 across the country, they told us they face two common problems. One, they need more clients. Two, they need a better booking system. That is one thing that Jamfuze has to offer, and we have many more solutions that we have, and we would like to show you in a short video.
Are you a musician that's looking to take your career to the next level? Are you a studio owner planning to rent out your studio space? Are you a videographer searching for your next gig? Or just a listener who loves hearing your music? If so, we've got the website for you. With Jamfuze, you'll be able to bring your talents to life with our one-stop shop music platform. You'll be able to find or rent out the most cost-effective studios near you. Looking for the next copy for your songs? Check out our Beats page, where you'll be able to listen to our best instrumentals from the top producers in the area. Do you have a particular idea in mind? Post a job or gig for others to apply to, or even apply to someone else's gig. Everything from looking for a videographer to finding the best engineers in the game. And discovering local artists has become even easier. With our Discover page, you can see all the local talent near you. Jamfuze offers it all. Everything from local shows, customized playlists, to video models. Join Jamfuze today.
As you can see, we here at Jamfuze, we're a one-stop shop for all musicians. There is no other platform like this. Let me explain. You have a site like World Star Hip Hop, only allows you to upload music videos. Another site like Spotify, you only can stream music. Another platform like Studio Time, you only could book studios. All of our competitors only offer one service. Jamfuze offers it all.
And because we cater to so many services within the music industry, Jamfuze will always be free to sign up in order to gain traction and build brand awareness. And once we got those two things, we move into a three-step revenue model. Number one, transactional costs. We'll be taking a small percentage of every transaction on the site, such as when somebody's booking a studio or buys a beat. Number two, membership subscription model. This is where service providers such as studios can pay a subscription fee of $20 to $140 to get a big exposure that could lead to more clients. And number three, music spotlight. Artists can upload their music for free on our site, but with the music spotlight, they can pay to get bigger reach across the platform. And in order to make this happen, and in order to elevate Jamfuze to bigger reaches, these are the resources that we're going to need to build upon the greatness we already have. Thank you, and any questions?
What's A&R mean?
An A&R is someone who can listen to your music. So, for example, like someone from Atlantic Records, they go out and find artists.
Artists from repertoire.
And they can get you signed to major record labels.
Yeah, don't put something on your slide unless you explain it.
Oh.
And it's a web-based. Is there an app that goes with it as well?
No, right now it's web-based because when we started, a lot of artists, when they do these big files, they put it on their hard drive, on their laptop, so it's easier to upload. And for our MVP, we only had limited amount of money, so we just made it into a website, but the app is coming next.
Did you guys, I'm just curious, produce that video on your own?
We actually, we're both from Lowell, and we have a
friends.
videographer who's from Lowell who actually did it. So this is just the MVP that we have out already.
Everything you've seen though of the site, that was our site. It's already
Yeah.
up and
So
running.
your website's already functional, and are you
Yeah,
just
we-
marketing it?
Yeah, we're marketing. We currently launched Sunday. We already have 100 members.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
And in addition to that, we did a blog before we launched the site where we went out there into the community, wrote about the artists, figured out the pain points from the studios, the artists, build a community. So once we launched it, quick 100 people just
Do you
joined.
have your subscription model, your revenue model ready to roll? And the sign up, cool, free.
Yeah, the
You got
sign,
your revenue model ready to take people's money?
yeah, ready takes people's money, but what we want to do again is build that traction.
Sure.
Once we get to 10,000 users, as we've seen from other competitors like Studio Time, once they got about to 10,000 users, that's when they're able to make it profitable because there's a lot of content and a lot of studios that it can be bought.
Just curious, in this area, Greater Lowell area, how many studios are there?
Around here, there's probably like 5, but in Boston, times 50.
Yeah, the big market, as far as we're starting on the East Coast, there's Studio Time, which started on the West Coast. They got that market, so our idea is start on the East Coast, move into New York, and once we got that momentum, go get them in the West.
Yeah, and like we would point out, they only do studios. We're offering services, videographers. You can buy beats. You can also record. We offer everything.
So I was reading through your presentation materials here. So you used the word poaching artist. So it probably said recruiting instead of poaching, but
Yeah.
nonetheless, what's your thought there in terms of that or turning that into a revenue stream?
Get an artist.
You said you were looking at signing on or poaching artists in your document here.
Yeah, so we meant to be recruiting artists.
Right.
Yeah, in the beginning, so what we're doing now, and he actually speak a little more about it, is we have our Facebook and Instagram, we're running ads in addition to the free services that we offer in order to get clients. And once we get those clients, as far as recruitment, as far as following us, getting the brand,
Yep.
that's when we start charging once we get going.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not looking to sign them as a recording studio, you're looking to get them into your platform.
Correct, yeah.
Everybody, so it's gonna be free for everybody to sign up, services, musicians. But what we want to do is they will pay to sponsor themselves to get a bigger reach. Just like you see on Facebook, Facebook ads, Instagram ads. If you pay for that membership fee, you get bigger reach, a bigger audience. So we're always gonna be free because that's the way every social platform is, and you want to make it special for the user.
Just my personal feedback here, I think this was very professionally presented, very clear. I think you guys did a good job. I just coincidentally had founded and sold 2 record companies.
Oh, wow.
This could be really interesting, and it's not because this has to be unique. The fact that you tapped into unsigned music is, for me, well, this is really interesting. I don't think it's going to be because you're a brokering service to recording studios. It's just that if you position unsigned bands and you get the distribution rights to those and get a percentage of revenue once you sell because of the distribution on your site, you could actually make a lot of money.
Thank you. And in addition to that is the way the music industry is catered now, and you probably could speak a little more on this, they cater to, everybody's looking to who's made it or the streaming of the world, so that nobody's really paying attention to the unsigned artists, the people who are starting off. Nobody's trying to cater to that service. That's great that they can make it to the top, but you need to help them get up there, and that's what we're trying to start from the bottom and build that awareness and help these clients.
I've got a couple clients that are somewhat in this space, and one of them was created a nice business going out and doing DJ shows at major universities across the countries. And why? Because he doesn't have to spend the money of a big performance artist, so it makes it a very much affordable solution, and huge need out there for that unnamed music.
And all kudos to him. I mean, he's an artist, and he saw how hard it is to find all the services. And I got the MBA from UMass Lowell and still go to UMass Lowell, so kind of put it together, and this is what we came up to, and we got the MVP rolling, so ready to take on the world.
So So is your pricing model where you're gonna take a portion of the sale? So I'm just gonna throw a number out there. Let's
Yeah.
say it was $100 to rent the studio. I know it's not.
Yeah.
But the consumer would still pay the 100, but the studio would give you $5 off of that.
Yeah,
Is that the model?
Yeah.
That's
That's
actually
a very
exactly
small percentage.
Yeah.
the model right
Okay.
And in return, that would just make it easier for them to book. Because what most people do now as an artist, I just call my studio guy and be like, hey, can I book this time? And he writes it down.
Yeah.
And we just make it much easier. It's like Airbnb, you know?
But that's
how
the
you book.
initial booking though, because after that though, you're not going to be involved in the transaction. Similar, because
Yeah.
Yeah,
right. So you get your fee off of that one sale, but
Mhm.
not again. Is
Yeah,
that correct?
Yeah.
that is correct. So, for example, in that situation, when somebody comes to book a studio, they get their recording time. We get that one transaction. But once they actually record that, they're probably gonna need a videographer to do the video. So they're gonna come back to the site because we already have everything there. So our thing is just to get them on there, and they'll have all the services because as Nick explained, it takes so many things just to build one artist. So many different services.
Are there any, I'm just not that familiar with this particular space, but are there any like copyright type issues with unsigned artists or music? Is there a chance an unsigned artist is going to put music up there, someone else is going to steal it? Is there any liability for you guys or?
So no, there actually is no liability. You have a site like SoundCloud. They only allow you to upload audio. But if someone takes your music, that's on you because you didn't copyright it. There's nothing against them. You have to copyright your music, and you cannot put music that's not yours up on the site. If you get flagged by any other audience or SoundCloud themselves, they take it down.
Okay.
If it's not yours. And as far as music getting stolen from artists, it's on the artist to copyright their music. If they did like a cover song to a song that's already famous, they can do that because it's not theirs and they're just showing
Right.
essentially love to the artist.
Is it difficult to copyright your own?
No, I copyrighted my audio for $30 on copyright.gov.
So just to clarify the financials, so you guys have got the website up and running, you've launched it, this is the funds that you need to take it to the next step, and then on an ongoing basis, have you guys kind of mapped out what you think the financials are gonna look like on an ongoing basis?
So we're mapping that out because we launched on Sunday and seeing exactly everything has been an idea based and gathering information, but now we have clients who have real data and kind of mapping that out. In the past, we've spent $15,000 on the MVP, and most of what the funds are going to go towards is one, finishing out the rest of the website, and number two, going into a mobile app. Just getting the product as great as it can be for that seamless transaction. So as we see those numbers, we'll be able to plot what those revenues will look like.
Is legal mostly for setting up your business entities, or has that already been done?
That has all been done. We need to actually do the renewal of that, the contracts, because right now we don't have an actual person who's on the team who's a technical person. We've actually contracted people to do the workout for us. So as far as making sure those documents are legally right, and we know lawyers.
Yeah, we hired
They
lawyers
love
for
that.
that. So.
They love their fees.
What have you guys paid out of pocket today?
15,000.
15,000.
15 of your own money?
Yeah.
Our own money.
11 to get you to full launch. Not just, what does this take you to?
Yeah, full launch. So
Full
right
launch.
now, the MVPs catered to connecting the artists to the studios because we saw that was the biggest needs. We have the rest of the site already hidden but built out, but it's very buggy.
Do you know your customer base? I see you got the market laid out, you got the stats for the market. What about the customer base?
Yeah, so
People you're going to go sell to.
yeah. So for right now, we're starting off with musicians. We're about to 18 to 25 because it's just the ranges that we've been talking to. Those are our ranges,
Yeah.
and then the studios. Now the studio owners range really from somebody who we
From,
met
yeah,
with the other day who was
18
22.
to like 60 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're going to studios, we're calling them, and most of them have given us great feedback. We actually had a studio in Australia sign up the other day. And even though we started here, just our ads
They
reached
just
out
saw
that
it
far.
and they thought that would be something great out there. So we're starting with each piece and then just expanding and expanding, expanding, just making sure that one product that we put out is really great until we move on to the next one, so these artists can see the actual real benefit.
Is it just the two of you? Are you the complete owners of the company? Are there any other partners or?
Yeah, right now it's the two of us. We got two other part-time helpers in the project.
Chris and Mike.
And then we have our developer who's up in Pennsylvania and who's getting contracted a very reasonable, very, very low fee because he's a musician himself, so he saw the idea.
Yeah.
But we'd love to bring it on full-time, but he's a VP of a company too, so it's like, unless you got 100,000, I'll do this on the weekends. Oh, time's up.
All right.
Awesome
Thank
job,
you very
guys.
much.
Yeah,
Thanks so
thank
much.
you.
Thank you guys, appreciate it.
Thank you very much.